Hey guys, what's up? This is Bharat. You're watching iGyan, and today we have the Note 20 Ultra 5G box with us. Now, this is the India retail variant, and on the box, the price of the phone has been mentioned as 1,16,000 rupees. But we all know that the phone is available in the market already for 1,04,999. So let's quickly unbox it and see what all comes inside the box. Do we still get a charger? Do we not get a charger? Let's quickly look at that. So let's get started. So as we cut through the packaging, we can already see that the Indian SIM variant sticker is already there. And the first thing inside the box is the phone itself. If you go further inside, we can see that there is a super fast charging adapter. This is a USB-C to USB-C adapter, and this is at 25 watts. Inside our box, we also get the USB cable, which is to charge up the phone or to sync up data, but you need a USB-C port on your PC to be able to do that with this cable. And then you also get AKG tuned earphones, which are a typical thing that you see inside the box of Samsung flagship devices at least. And the Note 20 Ultra continues to get those. And we also get additional tips. Now, if you look inside the cover of the box, you will find that there is a smaller box inside. And in that we get some documentation. Now, since this is a reviewer's box, we do expect some more accessories inside the box, like additional tips for the Note and adapters for converting from USB-A to USB-C. But all of that has gone now, and I'm not sure if the final boxes that people buy will also have those either. Also, there is no included case inside our box, which means that the Note 20 will not have a included silicone sleeve inside the box of the device. Now let's take a quick look at the phone itself. Now we know that this is the new color, the Mystic Bronze color, and we can already see the massive camera hump. We've already done our first impressions video, so you can click on the top right to go check that out. But let's quickly run you through some of the basic specifications of the phone itself. So over at the front, we have a 6.9-inch display. This is a dynamic AMOLED 2X display with a 21:9 aspect ratio. This does have a screen to body ratio of 94.8% if Samsung is to be believed. And this also has an adaptive 120 Hz refresh rate, but that is only available at a full HD plus resolution, not at the WQHD that this screen is, which is 3200 by 1440 pixels. So that is the full resolution, but at that resolution, you can only run this at 60 Hz. You do have a punch hole camera on the top of the phone. This is a 10 megapixel camera with a f2.2 aperture. And this does have autofocus on the front, which is good because most cameras on the front usually have a fixed focus. If you move over to the bottom of the device, you can see that there is the S Pen over there. You also have the speakerphone, the USB-C port, and the microphone for the device. You can pull out the S Pen quite easily. It is a click style mechanism. We've been seeing this for quite a long time, and it works really well over here. And if you're interested in knowing, you can't put the pen in the device upside down, and you can put it in any orientation and it fits. So they fixed all of those problems with the S Pen that a lot of people were having in the past editions. On the right, you do have the power button and the volume rocker, and you can see that the bezel is nice and chromy. So it's still got a Mystic Bronze color, but it's a shiny glossy. If you look at the top, you do get a secondary noise cancellation microphone and the SIM tray. There's nothing on the left of the device. And on the back, you can see that massive camera hump. And inside that, you will find the main cameras. The hero of this is the 108 megapixel camera. This has a f1.8 aperture, and then you also get a 12 megapixel camera, which is an ultra wide camera with an f2.2 aperture. And then finally you get a 12 megapixel telephoto camera, which does have an f3 aperture. So there's quite a wide variety of apertures on this. And of course you have the periscope lens. So natively it can only do a 5x zoom, but then it can go into a digital zoom of up to 50x because of the periscope lens and some digital software magic. So on the inside, at least in the Indian variant, we'd get a Samsung Exynos 990 chipset. Now, this is not something that a lot of people will be happy with. Everyone is looking for the 865 Plus, but this is a slightly tweaked variant of the chip. You get 2 cores at 2.73 gigahertz, 4 cores at 2 gigahertz, and then you get 2 cores at 2 gigahertz. And then Samsung is also including Samsung Knox data security. This is a 7nm chip, so it's right there with respect to the NM process, but as far as performance is concerned, Exynos has been seen to underperform with respect to Snapdragon chips. A lot of people who are paying the same price as the US variants are not going to be happy with the fact that this is a Exynos based device. Now inside is 12 gigabyte of RAM and 256 gigabyte of storage, but you can pop in a micro SD card up to 1 terabyte if you can find one, and you can expand the storage of the device. So the phone has a 4500 milliamp hour battery. With respect to battery performance, you'll also get the fast wireless charging, 2.0 is what Samsung calls it. And then you also have a wireless power share, so you can wirelessly charge other devices, including other smartphones or Samsung accessories that do support wireless charging. So that is supported on the Note 20 Ultra right out of the box. Now this camera hump is a massive camera hump, and it does stand out quite a lot, and I would recommend that you get a really nice case that flattens out that hump. We checked out one from Spigen that fits in there quite well. If you guys are interested in that, I'll leave a link to that in the description below. It fits in there. It continues to show the Mystic bronze color from the back, but it gives a nice rubberized protection on the side. Again, it's something that we bought. It's fairly cheap with respect to the Note. It offers up at least camera bump flatness on the back, which is nice, which is something that we wanted. Now, this is also the first device to feature Nearby Share, which is Android's answer to Apple's AirDrop on iOS. So with this and any other device that does support Nearby Share, you'll be able to sort of transfer files over Wi-Fi and connect over Bluetooth. So it does offer up fast wireless transfers. And this is something that you'll see on more Android devices, so that's not something that is exclusive to Samsung. This is just a feature that is rolled out on the Samsung Note 20 Ultra for the first time. Now, Samsung is also pushing majorly for wireless DeX capabilities, so you can connect to a wireless display and then have the phone run on that display if your display does support that. So if you have a Samsung television, you can basically convert that into a PC of sorts using your Note 20 Ultra. If you do have a Windows PC or a laptop, you can run some of the Android applications on this device directly on your Windows PC or laptop, and you can also pin some applications. So if you're an avid Instagram user and you would like to use the Instagram app on your PC, you can do that using the Samsung Note 20 Ultra. Now, mostly Samsung devices will support this feature for the time being, but we do expect more devices to get on the line if people do start liking these features. And then Microsoft's sort of partnership with Samsung will give them exclusivity for some time, but later on I would see more devices jump onto this as well. Now, with respect to protection, we do have Gorilla Glass 7 on the back as well as on the front, and this phone does have IP68 water and dust resistance. It's a really comfortable phone to hold despite it being large and unwieldy. It's got rounded edges and it's really easy to use, and the display is absolutely gorgeous on the eyes as well as in everyday usage. It's extremely bright, so indoors and outdoors using it is no problem whatsoever. The curved edge also allows you to continue to use some of the edge features that Samsung has had for many years, so you can pull out your edge display and customize it according to your requirements. The S Pen also offers up a whole bunch of new features, including S Pen gestures. So if you're not interested in touching your phone, you can use the S Pen to create some gestures and go to the back screen or the front screen. The S Pen also now is faster with respect to response rates. So you get a 9 millisecond response time from the S Pen versus a 42 millisecond response time. Now this is a massive upgrade, and you can't really see any lag when you're writing on the screen. It's as good as paper, and then you continue to get that sound when you scribble on the screen, which sort of resembles paper, but I find it quite annoying. But I guess some people like it. You also have the Note 20, which is not the Ultra version. That one does have a plastic body, and the S Pen does have a response time of 25 milliseconds versus 9 milliseconds, but it's still a massive jump from 49 milliseconds. So even on the Note 20, you still get really good response times. The Note 20, I feel, is not a good value proposition because of it being a plastic body and a full HD display and a slower S Pen. What you are looking for, and what I think Samsung is trying to do, is push more on the Note 20 Ultra. Because of the specifications that it has, and a lot of people will prefer buying the Note 20 Ultra, and hence Samsung will cross the 1 lakh rupee price barrier and push that device in India at least, because I would not find a lot of people interested in the Note 20 because of the limitations of the build quality as well as some of the features that they've limited on that device. Well, that was a quick unboxing and impressions again for the second time of the Note 20 Ultra. We've enjoyed taking some pictures with this. Camera is really good. The front camera is great as well, and the phone also captures 8K video. We tried some gaming and the phone is super responsive. It does have the game booster on it as well, so you can enjoy gaming on this for long periods of time. Especially the display is really favorable for something like that. If you guys are interested in something specific about the Note 20 Ultra, let us know in the comment section below. We'll try and get you a full review soonish, and we're testing out things like battery life and general usability. I've already popped in a SIM in there, so I've been using this device for a couple of days. So I'll come back with more details on this in the full review, but if you guys have any particular questions or queries, do let us know. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to iGyan, hit that bell notification icon so that you get updated every time we upload a new video. This has been Bharat Nagpal. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one.